Hello, everybody, and welcome back to VUDivulged. I'm Anthony Polkowski,
And I'm Aiden O'Brien.
and today we're going to be talking about the current events taking place in Haiti for today's current events. But before we get into that, I do want to quickly cover two other things, and that's one, we told you guys we would keep you updated with Trump and his case with the Supreme Court in Colorado. It was ruled 9-0 in favor of Trump, which I'm not going to lie is a little shocking to me.
It's shocking to me
very,
too.
There are not many times where it's 9-0 in the
That is
Supreme
true.
Court. There's usually like 2 or 3 against, and the rest. 9-0, wow, that's
For once, both sides actually agree with each other,
Mhm.
which is, like you said, it's very, very rare. Very, very rarely do we ever get two sides agreeing.
And in my personal opinion, I think it was just a, a lot of people have their controversies or opinions on what this trial means for the sake
Absolutely.
of America, what this trial was truly about. But
Mhm.
what I think it was is it kind of looked, if I was a Supreme Court justice, and like I said, this is my opinion, it's if we allowed the case to go through, it basically gave people the control of who was on who was allowed to be on the ballots, and that
Absolutely.
is not great for democracy.
No, it's not.
A lot
You're
of
right.
times throughout history, Russia and Germany during World War II, they had rigged elections. So I think part of it was part of the ruling was based on that. They didn't want to establish anything that could potentially be used to allow people to gain control of who was on the ballots, because that would control who people could elect.
That makes sense.
The second thing I'll just briefly cover is there's been a lot of uprisings in Russia. Russia has uprisings a lot, but this is another major uprising. A lot of people are upset about the assassination of a few political leaders and the war in Ukraine, which Russia is still involved in. I can't say winning or losing. I think right now we're kind of at a stalemate, but
Right now, Ukraine has lost some ground. Not a lot, but they have lost some.
and I've also heard some reports in the last few days that it's due to the uprisings that Russia's kind of slowed down and halted in some areas. But as always, we will keep you all updated on that.
Absolutely.
So we are going to now enter our main topic, and that's the events currently taking place in Haiti. So just for our viewers to have a little bit of a background knowledge of the events currently taking place in Haiti, originally have their roots in 2010 on January 12th, Haiti suffered a massive earthquake. It registered 7.0 on the Richter scale, which is just a very powerful earthquake. And on top of that, they experienced 2 aftershocks, which registered 5.9 and 5.5 respectively.
That's crazy.
And according to the Haitian government, 300,000 lives were lost. The death toll was found to be 220,000, which is still a lot, and it, took out lots of their infrastructure, right? A lot of their markets. So they're struggling economically, and it is believed that 5.2 million people are in need of humanitarian assistance, 3 million of which being children.
Okay, I must ask. You said the initial death toll was about 300,000?
That's what the
And-
government believed it to be. But
Okay,
then once
so
records
then-
were totaled, it was 220,000.
Okay. That makes more sense.
And unfortunately, shortly after that disaster, they are also experiencing agricultural struggles. So not only are they
Understandable.
not only is their infrastructure struggling, now they are even struggling to grow their own food. So because of this, a lot of gangs were taking control and starting to gain more and more power. The president of Haiti, Jovenel Moise, was assassinated on July 7th, 2021 in his home at the capital of Haiti, Port-au-Prince. He was shot 12 times, and then his body appeared to be mutilated with his eyes gouged out, broken bones in his arm and legs. His wife
that's
was
nasty.
shot as well, but thankfully she was able to make it out alive. The Haitian police believed it was carried out by a group of Colombians and 2 Haitian Americans. So many believe it was, politically motivated, but there are some that also
Makes sense.
believe that they were just citizens that were angry at the president,
possibility
believing
as
he
well.
wasn't handling the situation the correct way, and were
That's a good possibility.
taking their anger out on him.
Some people do that, yeah. It's a good possibility.
And because of that, the Prime Minister Ariel Henry assumed the role as the leader's country. But after the assassination of the president of Haiti, many gangs decided that now was the time to act while the government was in disarray. And the assassination of a public official is a struggle for any country, because lots of people believe that government officials with their security and everything are untouchable. But when you are
True.
successful in assassinating a political leader, it inspires others that, hey, look, if that group could do it, surely we can do it.
That is true. That is true.
So in recent years, more and more, the gangs have been taking more and more control, and as of now, a warlord by the name of Barbecue, that's what they refer to him as, has taken control. He's known as Barbecue because he's been known to use fire in various ways to burn his victims alive.
Man, that is really
And
gruesome.
he's basically a butcher. And due to the gang's growing control and power in Haiti, he took control, and the prime minister left the country, the entire country. He just left. So now Haiti is, I don't even know the word. There's just a vacuum there of power. Gangs are going to be fighting. The Haitian people were already struggling, but now there's no there's no government leader. So the government that really
Right.
is there really
It's-
has no authority or backing muscle. So now gangs are taking control.
Essentially, it's just one big power struggle where gangs are fighting for this power that's wide open.
And there's no one there to stop. It's
No.
I like to think of it as like Mexico and the cartels.
Right.
The cartels are there, and Mexico, it does have a government. Well, yes,
It
the
does,
cartels
yes.
are in the government. There are members of the government that are truly trying to fight the cartels
Right.
with the aid of America and other countries. But in Haiti, there's none of that. There is nothing now.
There's none of that. No.
There
it's
is
all
no
just,
government. Like I said, the
No,
government
it's
that
just
is there
gang
has no
control.
power, and it's just a massive
Yeah.
gang war. As of now, the Pentagon has not released any statement that they will be sending troops to Haiti. There have been other countries that said they would send supplies and support and personnel, and America said they would stand by those countries, but as of now, the Pentagon has not stated that American soldiers are going to be stationed in Haiti to help control the situation.
Well, but they also got to think of the different possibilities that could go down. With all this fighting and drama going on in Haiti, sending troops over there could be detrimental. Sending troops into a war-torn area already, with possibly already hundreds upon hundreds of casualties, that could potentially lead to troops coming in getting killed, which is something that no one wants.
And a lot of countries, they don't want outside assistance because
They don't, no.
to them it hurts their nation's pride, because they
Absolutely.
think this is a Haitian problem, we should be able to figure this out ourselves,
Exactly.
and we do not need another government coming in and basically telling us what to do. We will solve
Right.
it ourselves. If we want help, we will ask.
Right. But right now, with just an entire country with gangs fighting for power, there's not really going to be much of anyone saying, "Hey, United States, we need your help."
Or any country for that matter.
Or that is true. That is true.
The gangs actually had 80% of the country in their control before the prime minister left. So if they had that much power before he left, in a way, he was really just a figurehead. He was a government, but it was more of a symbolic government than it actually held any power or authority.
Right.
But
that's how it sounds to me too. If the gangs are already controlling 80% before he leaves, then there's obviously not a government completely held together and governing. Like you said, it's more of a figurehead. It's just sitting there.
Already in January and February this year, the gangs had conducted hundreds of attacks in airports, seaports, police stations, banks, and even the nation's soccer stadium, which, if you think, their infrastructure is still being repaired after that major earthquake. Now the gangs are attacking it. That's not helping either, because now not only are you trying to fix it, but you're now also trying to prevent gangs from controlling it when you don't have the forces to stop those gangs. Right. And they recently raided 2 prisons and released nearly 4,000 prisoners. So what little criminals that were incarcerated are now free. So now that the government had not only to worry about the gangs, but now all the newly released prisoners.
Well, and like you said, having these prisoners released just adds fuel to the fire. Mm-hmm. Because now these prisoners that have just been released can pick at which gang am I going to go to. So then these prisoners now are siding with war-torn gangs. Mm-hmm. So
most likely the gangs that set them free.
Probably. And who knows, maybe they were released due to deals. You join us, we'll do this for you. Mm-hmm. Which, of course, in turn, will make those gangs stronger, not just by numbers, but possibly monetary, things or, weapons. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we may not know at the moment that could end up being released later on.
And Haiti is relatively, close to America. That
is true.
It's very close to Cuba, and, people think Cuba is really far. It's only about, I think, max 90 miles from Florida. It's not
far at all.
It is not far. And Haiti's just slightly farther.
Yeah.
So many Americans are concerned, are there potentials that, is that violence going to spread here? America's already struggling with an immigration crisis right now, but now that there are going to be people wanting to escape the gangs before they take absolute control, are they also now going to try
That's a good question.
to enter the country? Are they going to take advantage of the open border crisis, or are they going to seek asylum and legally enter the country? But that obviously puts more stress on that puts more stress on the American people and the government, because not only, like I said, they have to deal with that, but now there's essentially a civil war or gang war that's going to break out nationwide at our doorstep,
since the country itself is pretty much right there on our doorstep.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, just a few miles off the coast of Florida.
It's right there at the doorstep.
So, as always, we will keep you all updated.
Absolutely.
With current events and the situation going on in Haiti, should any more major news or events occur, and we will see you all in the next episode.